This is Mike with RPS Water Pumps, and this is the first chapter in our big pond project. Let's get into it. You can see the big pond behind me, and it's not looking too great right now. We're coming to the end of summer, and it shrank quite a bit, but we want to get ready for the rain to come and to revamp this pond over the next 12 months. The pond is home to a bunch of wildlife. We have migratory birds that come in, we have birds that stay year-round, and then eventually we want to add fish to this pond. So we want to make sure it's a nice, healthy environment before we start introducing them. You can see we currently have algae blooms, and so we're going to use our Pond Pride 750, which is our largest AC aerator. What that's going to do is going to help provide oxygen into the water to reduce the algae bloom, and it's also going to help reduce thermoclines because as those bubbles rise, it's going to mix up the water and get a more even uniform temperature, which is going to reduce surface temperatures and reduce the amount of algae growing. This is a really easy DIY installation, and you can tailor it to fit your exact needs and desires. Some people set it straight on the grass, others put a concrete pad down, others use gravel. You can also have it out front, you can put it back behind some bushes if you want it hidden. I've even seen people spray paint this, but it's a really easy installation, takes about an hour, and we're gonna go through those steps real quick. Let's jump into our installation here. I'm gonna go over the basic parts as I do the install, but if you want a more detailed unboxing video, in the description below, there's a link to the complete unboxing of the Pond Pride system. The first step of this installation is we're gonna hook our high temperature hoses to our manifold. Now these high temperature hoses are not weighted, so this is going to be going from the manifold, and then we're going to attach our weighted hose, which eventually goes out into the pond. Let's grab the hose clamps from our accessory bag, and we'll attach the 3 high temperature hoses to the output manifold. Let's install our inlet air filter. This helps reduce the noise the air compressor makes and filters the air so we don't damage the pistons. Step 2, we'll attach our coupling bar. Step 3, we'll feed the lines to the bottom of the enclosure and get our weighted hose prepared. I like to roll the weighted line out to prevent any kinks. Step 4, we'll attach our diffusers to our weighted hose and our weighted hose to the air lines. Step 5, we're going to place our diffusers. For the 2 side diffusers, we're going to use the frisbee method to get it out into the pond. As the level rises, the depth will increase, and that's the position we want. For the center one, we're going to grab a boat or we're going to wade out to get it out into the center. So as we get these diffusers set up, let's talk about startup of the system. And so to start up the system, because we don't have any fish in this pond, it's gonna be okay just to run it 24 hours a day. But if this is already an established pond, then we don't want to immediately hit it with that much oxygen. It can cause two issues. One, it can over-oxygenate the pond, and the fish aren't used to that. Two is as it disrupts the thermoclines, which is healthier for the pond, the fish need a chance to get used to that. And so if we have an established pond with fish in it, then we want to do a more cautious startup. We're going to start with 15 minutes a day, and then we're going to double the run time every single day. So we're going to go from 15 minutes day 1 to 30 minutes day 2 to an hour day 3, so on until we're running the amount of time we want, whether that's a 12-hour, 8-hour, or 24-hour cycle. The last bubbler, we want to get right in the middle of the pond. We're going to use a canoe to get out there. This weighted airline makes it super easy to install even if you're by yourself. Step 6, let's head back in and fire the system up. So now it's time to plug it in. I'm using an outlet we have located near the pond. You could also use a generator or hook it up to any other 110 power source. Let's pull one of these diffusers in and see how it operates up close. So as the air runs from the compressor through our weighted hose and down to our diffuser, this membrane expands, and you can see it's puffing out a bit, and that allows these little holes to open, creating the micro bubbles, which helps diffuse the oxygen into the water. So those little bubbles are doing two things. Due to their size, they're diffusing that oxygen directly into the water. And second, you can see the turbulence. And when we're in a little bit deeper, that water is going to rise from the bottom up to the top. And that turbulence is going to help mix up the water and mix up that thermocline for a much more uniform pond temperature to prevent hot spots and warm spots that are going to cause algae blooms. Let's go throw this diffuser back out there. But as you saw today, it was about 15-20 minutes to get the whole system installed and up and running. This is the start of the big pond project, and we've got our diffuser set about where we want them. I'm not super happy with the placement of the aerator. I'm gonna come back another day. We're gonna move that a little higher because when the rains come, we expect a few more feet of water in here. So I'm gonna get the lines placed exactly, a little pad set for the aeration. But overall, this has turned out to be a great project, and this is the first step to get our big pond ready to go for winter and into spring and summer. Aeration is the first step as we get this pond in shape. Subscribe to follow along on our journey on the big pond project with RPS water pumps.